So I had an idea. I was scrolling through YouTube one day and I saw a thumbnail of an ice cream cone and it was really humanoid, and I thought to myself, I want to make that. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. Now first I need to make the cone, and in order to do that, because I'm cheap, I'm going to use tinfoil to save a crap ton of money on clay. And here I'm using bacon bind. It's basically glue for clay, and it hardens in the oven and keeps the clay onto the tinfoil. Now, let me bless your ears with the most amazing sound any sculptor can ever hear.
Nice.
Now, in order to make the ridges on the cone, I'm going to use some more bacon bond because uncooked clay or unbaked clay won't stick onto baked clay that easily. Now with the cone done, I can go ahead and plop a unbaked ball of clay on top, which will soon become the ice cream. Now I can add the general shape of the mouth and also forget to record all the details that I added here. Now I can blend in the lips and give it some more definition in the mouth. Now with the mouth done, I can go ahead and make some teeth, and I'm using a lighter here because a lighter is easier to cure the clay with when you're working with tiny objects. Here I'm making the tongue, and the tongue was really easy to make. All it is just a line down the middle and then a few ridges made with a ball stylus. Now I can add the nose, and the nose took me like 4 tries to get right, but I eventually got it, and I thought it turned out pretty good. Here I'm adding the eyes, and I'm using some bacon bond to help it stick in the eye socket while I'm working with it. Here I'm adding the eyelids, but I eventually removed them from the final product because I did not like the way it looked. Now I can add the ridges on the ice cream itself because right now it's looking pretty bland. Then I can just add the final tip of the ice cream, and I know it's looking pretty rough right now, but I just have to blend it all in and it'll get much better. I can get this really easy texture by just rolling a ball stylus over it back and forth, and it looks pretty good to me. After staring at this thing for probably over 30 plus hours, I realized that the tip of the ice cream looked much better if it pointed to the right instead of to the left, so I cut it off and I made a new one. It's time for the paint job, and I can get this super rare limited edition cardboard box to paint it inside of. I'm gonna be honest, I have no clue what I'm doing with this airbrush. Like, just look at this. It's supposed to come out the nozzle of the airbrush smooth the entire time, but instead it's coming out in bursts of paint. To paint the mouth, we're gonna need red, purple, light purple, pink, pink again, red, and then white. I am the world's messiest painter, so to paint this mouth alone, it probably took me at least a few weeks because I always end up painting like what I'm not trying to paint. The eyes are black here, but in the final product, I changed them to more humanoid eyes. Now, to add the pupils, I have this pencil sharpener that was the perfect circle size, and I cannot freehand a perfect circle, so I dipped it in paint and I'm going to use it as a stencil. I could not get the color of this cone right to save my life. I repainted the cone a solid like 8 or 9 times just to find the right color. I noticed there was a bunch of extra built up paint, and I tried to take this small paintbrush and had a stroke of genius and started dabbing all over the cone, and it left a pretty cool texture, and as you can see, it turned out pretty good. I tried to add some dry brushing, but I honestly don't know how to do that, so it just turned out looking pretty bad. But here, I'm trying to also do a wash, which I've also never done before, and it turned out decent, but it made it look really dirty, but whatever, it's fine. Here, I tried to make the eyes a little bit red by adding some pinkish paint. I don't know what I was doing, but I tried to add it to make it a little bit more uncomfortable than it already was. I ended up washing most of it off because it looked really bad, and then I put a little bit more back on and started blending it with white paint, and I tried to repeat the same process on the other eye, and it turned out pretty good. It just looks like he has pink eye. I can add a slightly yellow wash over the teeth that doesn't even make a difference in the end, and I can finally add the final layer of paint on the cone. And I can add some UV resin to the eye to make it glossy and shiny, and I can miss and then end up pulling it back on the eye, and then I can cure it with a UV flashlight and then give it the 1-2 toothpick finger tap to make sure it's cured all the way. And then I can repeat the same process on the other eye and hopefully not miss this time. With the eyes looking pretty good, I can try and add some resin drilling down his tooth to his tongue and then fail and then forcefully add resin dripping down his tongue by hitting it on the table 4 times. And then I can overflow the mouth with resin, and then while I'm curing it with the flashlight, realize it's dripping straight out of his mouth, which is actually perfect because now it looks like he's drooling even more. Now with everything looking cured and pretty good to go, I can add a gloss varnish over the ice cream to make it look shiny and delicious. Except it's supposed to be clear and it actually dried yellow, which doesn't make any sense because on the bottle it says clear drying. Permanent finish, water reducing, non-yellowing, shake well before use. Yeah, I did not do that, but with everything looking good to go, I guess we're done. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, drop a like, and if you really like this type of content and want to see more from me, please subscribe. It helps out a lot, and it's free. You can always unsubscribe later, and 1 like is $1 towards this guy's pink eye treatment.